But as I've said at this podium before, and as these numbers bear out, there is enormous resilience in the Australian economy. We've bounced back before as restrictions have eased, and we'll bounce back again. In these numbers, you see the impact in Victoria as they were recovering from their previous lockdown. In fact, hours worked in this month of July increased in Victoria by 9.7%. And 170,000 people who were employed on 0 hours came off being employed with 0 hours. As you know, from day one of this pandemic, we have done everything in our power on both the economic and the health front to ensure that Australians come through this crisis, including providing significant economic support. And the economic support that we're providing in the form of the COVID disaster payment, with individual weekly payments of $450 a week if you've lost between 8 and 19 hours of work, or $750 a week if you've lost 20 hours or more of work, have been very effective in targeting those people who need support and have lost hours of work. Over $3.1 billion has actually gone out the door, and more than 1 million Australians are receiving those COVID disaster payments. We've also entered into bilateral relationships on a 50-50 basis with state and territory governments to provide additional business support in the event that the lockdowns have impacted businesses in their state. Today we're announcing an additional $807 million in partnership with the Victorian government to support small and medium-sized businesses over the course of the next 2 weeks with their extension of the lockdown. Payments between $2,800 and $20,000 will be made to businesses across the hospitality sector, the recreation sector, the tourism sector and other affected sectors in that state. It builds on similar arrangements that we've put in place with other states to provide the business support. So this is a very difficult time for our country. This is a very challenging time for our economy. Today's numbers do show that there is enormous resilience in our economy. And we know that with the Doherty modelling and the roadmap that was agreed by National Cabinet, there is a pathway out of this crisis. The vaccine rollout is gaining momentum, with more and more people being vaccinated right around the country each and every day. And as we reach those targets of 70 and 80%, we can see the restrictions easing across the country. And as restrictions eased, our economy bounces back. That's the experience in the past over the course of this pandemic, and that will be the experience in the future as we come out of those restrictions.